Shooting USA is brought to you by SnapSafe and the full line of Trek-Lite lockboxes. Affordable security for home or travel. Get 15% off with code SUSA15 at snapsafe.com. It was shortly after the Civil War that brought great change in firearms with the innovation of the self-contained cartridge. In America, it was the trapdoor Springfield. But for the British, it was a rifle with an Italian-sounding name. The Martini Henry is now one of history's guns. History remembered and sponsored by the Civilian Marksmanship Program. This firearm helped build the British Empire at the end of the 19th century, securing the monarch's power in the four corners of the world. It's the Martini Henry.
Well, the Martini Henry is one of the most famous guns in British history. It's one of the guns that helped make the British Empire. The Martini Henry rifle, very evocative, very famous gun.
This single-shot action was designed by American Henry Peabody, then updated by a Swiss gunsmith, Friedrich von Martini, and finally modified again before adoption by the British Army.
And they put a barrel on it designed by a British designer or gunsmith, Alexander Henry. Poor Peabody got left out, and the gun just ended up being called the Martini Henry rifle.
That was 1870, and by the time Britain ended production in 1889, the Royal Small Arms Factory at Enfield had built 500,000 Martini Henrys.
Because it's a very simple action. Drop lock action, put your cartridge in, close it, and away you go. The gun has no safety. You have a cocking indicator. Back, the gun is cocked, and forward, it's been fired. It's a very simple, rugged, and reliable action.
An action that's chambered in an unusual round.
Real bruiser of a round, 5.77 450, which means it was a 5.77 case neck down to .45 caliber. Shoots a 485 grain bullet, backed by 85 grains of black powder.
The cartridge in Gary's hand is modern, drawn brass, but the original brass casing was wrapped foil attached to an iron base. True, it looks a little flimsy, but the 5.77 450 packed a powerful punch.
One of the more powerful infantry rounds of the period. It's certainly more powerful than the 45-70 or the 11mm Mauser.
Powerful against the enemy, but equally strong in recoil.
The recoil on this is tremendous. And early guns, the soldiers were wrapping their thumb around this thing, and the recoil was coming back, and they were hitting themselves in the nose and getting bloody noses. So the Brits put a thumb rest on it so that you get your thumb up out of the way when you shoot the thing.
In spite of 2 decades of reliable service in at least a dozen wars, Gary says the Martini Henry was little known outside of Britain until 1964. That's when Hollywood premiered the movie Zulu.
It's one of those guns that, if it wasn't for the movie Zulu with Michael Caine and Stanley Baker that came out, most people wouldn't know what the heck the darn thing was.
The film portrays an actual battle in the Anglo-Zulu War, fought between warriors of the Zulu Nation and Her Majesty's troops in South Africa. Soldiers armed with Martini Henrys.
Defended a hospital station against thousands of Zulus and won more Victoria Crosses than in any other action in British history. And one of the reasons that they were so successful was the Martini Henry was such a superb rifle.
This legendary battle at a place called Rorke's Drift is also depicted in a famous painting, and front and center is a Martini Henry.
You can load them very, very fast. The soldiers, especially at Rorke's Drift and a lot of the battles during the Zulu Wars, they were firing these things so fast and the barrels would get really, really hot.
Gary also puts a lot of lead through his Martini Henry.
I've shot the heck out of these Martini Henrys over the years. Martini Henry is one of my favorite single-shot rifles of all time.
After the movie Zulu came out, interest in the Martini Henry skyrocketed, and it was very hard for collectors to find one. Well, the Martini Henry is still available. Now you can find one for around $800.
The .22 Advanced Rifle Cartridge easily outperforms all other .22 caliber cartridges in its class, producing .22-250 performance in an AR-15 platform. The .22 ARC is engineered to take full advantage of the most aerodynamic .22 caliber bullets. This means tighter groups, increased accuracy, and an exceptional shooting experience. .22 Advanced Rifle Cartridge from Hornady.
Thanks again for tuning into the Shooting USA YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed the content. A couple of notes. Make sure you take advantage of SUSA15 at snapsafe.com. That's our discount code that saves you 15% on anything from SnapSafe, and that gets to be some big money when you start talking about modular safes and vault doors. Also, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our new content. As always, a like and a comment helps us with that algorithm.